I was just 18 when I went to Woodstock in 1969, and it was the best 3 days of my life.
There were at least 200,000 people there. Every one of those people had someone on their shoulders.
At first glance, Woodstock 1969 seems like a dreamy weekend full of music, hugs, and hippie love. But look a little closer, and the photos tell a different story.
A segment causing such dismay elsewhere. And it is true, their music is loud, and they dress weirdly and smoke pot.
Hidden between the smiles and songs are bold images, some too raw for all ages. People were free in every sense, with no concern for cameras or who might be watching. Clothes came off, rules faded, and life, in its most natural form, stood uncovered. These pictures capture that wild freedom, but not everyone should see them. Curious? Just know, once you've seen the real Woodstock, you can't unsee it. Number 20. Choosing wrong beverages. During the Woodstock Festival, which was full of colorful outfits, creative hairstyles, and loud music, there was a woman who stood out for an unexpected reason. While many attendees brought backpacks filled with necessities like canned food and water, this woman stood out with just a carton of fresh milk. It was a hot summer day, and she did not have a fridge nearby, so it was surprising that she decided to bring milk. Milk can easily go bad in the heat, and most people wouldn't think to bring it to a picnic or a popular music festival. However, she was there, holding it like it was no big deal. At first, it seemed strange, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Woodstock wasn't about following rules. It was about freedom, being bold, and staying true to yourself. And that woman, with her milk, captured that spirit in an unexpected way. She did not need to explain herself. Her quiet defiance of logic was like her special tune. It was weird, yet intriguing, and somehow just right for Woodstock. Number 19. Free event. At the Woodstock Festival, the tall fences may appear strict and unwelcoming in this photo. They might seem like barriers to keep people out. However, the fences were just marking the boundaries of the event space. The intention was not to shut out the world, but to create a space for music and peace to be celebrated. The festival organizers initially expected 50,000 attendees, which they believed they could handle. They made preparations for this number. However, the actual turnout far exceeded their expectations. People arrived in large numbers, causing chaos in the small town nearby. The roads became congested, supplies started to run out, and confusion reigned. When more visitors started coming, the problems increased as well. There weren't sufficient guards or fences to prevent people from entering. Some visitors climbed over the fences, others went around them, and some even helped each other get in. Realizing that it was impossible to control the situation, the organizers made a significant decision. They decided to allow everyone to enter without charging any fees. What started as a concert with admission fees evolved into a no-cost event celebrating music, liberty, and togetherness. Stay with us as we uncover more. Number 18. Traffic jam. During Woodstock, famous musicians arrived at the festival in helicopters, while the real adventure was unfolding on the dusty roads of Bethel, New York. Fans, filled with anticipation, drove towards Yazgur's farm, unaware that the journey would challenge them both mentally and physically. The roads to the festival were not equipped to handle the large crowds that arrived. The organizers were expecting a small crowd, but as thousands arrived, the roads became parking lots. Traffic was at a standstill as some areas became so congested that the police had to close them off. No one was willing to quit, so they left their cars behind with music in their hearts and dreams in their eyes. They put on backpacks, took their tents and sleeping bags, and started to walk. The sun was scorching, the journey was lengthy, and the dust clung to their skin. Some walked for miles without stopping, eager to be part of an extraordinary experience. Even though their faces were sunburnt, they smiled. To them, it wasn't just a concert. It was the beginning of an unforgettable journey. Let's find out more. Number 17. Origin of Woodstock. In a peaceful moment, shown in a basic picture, a man stands confidently with hands on hips, looking out at the vast fields of Max Yasgur's dairy farm in Bethel, New York. The area around him is quiet, but there is something significant starting to develop. He is witnessing the beginning of a dream turning into reality. A dream that would later become the well-known Woodstock Music and Arts Fair. Even though the festival became known as Woodstock, it did not happen in the town of Woodstock. It took place on a peaceful farm in Bethel, which was generously provided by a dairy farmer named Max Yasgur. Yasgur did not anticipate the immense size of the event, but he supported its message of peace, music, and unity. Over 400,000 people showed up, making the fields lively with music, joy, and dirty footprints. What could have been a disorder turned into a wonderful experience. People who did not know each other became close friends. They shared food, room, and compassion. Even though the crowd was massive, the atmosphere was peaceful. Despite facing legal issues and upsetting neighbors, Yasgur stayed true to his beliefs by allowing the festival on his land. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years later, but his legacy and the impact of his actions on the world during the festival will never be forgotten. Let's dive more into the newly discovered photos. Number 16. Impact on wildlife. The picture may appear charming at first sight, with farm animals standing peacefully next to happy festival attendees. However, beneath the surface lies a tale of pressure, hardship, and silent perseverance. The iconic Woodstock Music Festival was not only about peace, love, and music, but also about the unexpected conflicts between life and chaos. The event occurred on a dairy farm known for peaceful mornings and quiet daily activities. However, Woodstock brought a whole new atmosphere with its loud music, constant noise, and large crowds that startled the cows. The normally peaceful animals were so stressed by the chaos that they stopped producing milk for a month. The absence of milk production was not just a natural pause, it posed a significant issue for the farmers. Farming continues even during festivals. Another heartwarming scene shows farmers struggling to take care of their cows while dealing with loud music and crowds. This moment displays the farmers' strength, patience, and passion for their work. Woodstock had a profound impact on people's lives and left a mark on history, but it also posed significant challenges for the locals. While the spotlight was on the music performances, the everyday struggles of the residents were also a significant part of the narrative. Number 15. Rainy Festival. Woodstock did not go as expected, but that's what made it special. One surprise was the heavy rain that turned the field into a muddy mess. The grass was covered in wet dirt, and the ground was squishy. It could have been a disaster, with shows delayed and performers playing in the rain while holding on to their instruments. It was far from the ideal concert environment. The crowd did not seem bothered by the rainy weather. In fact, they had a great time. Some people danced in the puddles, while others slid in the mud with big smiles. A young man in a photo is shown laughing as he runs through the wet ground, leaving footprints behind. His happiness shows that the rain wasn't an issue. It was all part of the fun. Some individuals wore simple, clear plastic ponchos to stay dry in the rain. Although not fashionable, they were practical. However, many did not care about getting dirty and embraced the mud as part of the experience. The mud helped bring people closer, create laughter, and provide an additional memory of Woodstock that will last forever. The Woodstock event was a great one, so stay with us as we dive more into it. Number 14. Sleeping Anywhere. Woodstock is often associated with its music, unity, and harmony. But there were some obstacles that arose during the event. The iconic festival took place on a dairy farm owned by Max Yasgur, which was a beautiful and spacious location. However, it was not equipped to accommodate such a large crowd of almost 500,000 people. The organizers did not anticipate that more than 400,000 attendees would show up, causing chaos as they arrived. The surrounding roads became congested with traffic jams due to the influx of people. Cars were at a standstill for miles, with some individuals abandoning their vehicles to make their way to the festival on foot. Not everyone could find enough room to camp, so some set up with sleeping bags or tents. Others, like the man in the picture, had no choice but to sleep in their cars. Using cars as makeshift beds became common since finding flat ground was difficult. After the music stopped playing, the challenge of finding their cars began. There were so many vehicles scattered around the fields that it was extremely difficult to find the correct one. Some people found the traffic so chaotic that they couldn't even reach their cars. Additionally, there was a shortage of bathrooms, making the situation even more challenging. However, despite all these hardships, the essence of Woodstock remained strong. Number 13. Frustrated buyers. Woodstock was a place known for its peaceful atmosphere, love, and music. People danced, smiled, and embraced the relaxed spirit of the festival. While the event appeared carefree, there was a bustling business scene happening in the background. Vendors set up stands selling a variety of items such as food, clothing, and handmade goods. These products were often priced affordably, with shirts, jeans, hats, and other items selling for just $5. The food available was also reasonably priced, making it accessible to all attendees. However, the calm atmosphere eventually ended. Unexpectedly, the popular food stand ran out of hamburgers one day. Instead of handling the situation calmly, they decided to raise the price from 25 cents to $1. Many festival attendees felt that the sudden increase was unjust and did not align with the welcoming atmosphere they were used to. This action was viewed as greedy and sparked anger among the crowd. The anger quickly escalated and quickly spread among the crowd. Smiles disappeared as people felt let down. Suddenly, the stand was set ablaze in a protest. Smoke filled the air, changing the happy atmosphere of Woodstock to a more negative one, showing how easily peace can be disrupted. Number 12. Nudity was common. Something amazing happened at Woodstock that was more than just about the music. A peaceful pond amidst the hills and crowds became a representation of real freedom. People at the festival were attracted to the tranquil water and the relaxed atmosphere and started going in, some naked, some unafraid. It wasn't about trying to shock or get noticed. It was about experiencing freedom, embracing nature, and feeling truly alive. The pond became a calm place where people gathered to swim, laugh, and escape from the pressures of the outside world. It wasn't just a swim for many. It was an opportunity to release shame, judgment, and expectations. People of all ages and genders swam together without caring about their appearance or what others thought. Pictures from that time depict happy people hugging each other with their eyes closed in happiness. Even though their skin was uncovered, their hearts were open. These genuine moments captured a strong sense of love and connection without any obstacles. However, not everyone was at ease with this level of openness. Some people were concerned that the festival area was not intended for complete freedom and thought it might be excessive. Nevertheless, for those participating in the event, it felt perfect. Number 11. Recreational Dose Use. At the Woodstock Festival, there is a famous picture of a few young music fans hanging out in a grass hut with a sign that says, "Have a marijuana." This shows the carefree and fun atmosphere of the event. The people in the photo weren't just seeking shelter from the weather, but they seemed to be enjoying a moment of tranquility, away from the noise and chaos of the crowd. The whole scene had a magical feeling, like a small getaway within a big dream. But despite all the fun and positivity at the festival, there were some alarming issues starting to arise. People were drawn to the music and messages of love, but there was also a significant amount of dose use happening. Not every moment was filled with joy, as a tragic incident occurred when a young person passed away from a overdose. This was one of 2 deaths reported at the festival. This moment of sadness dampened the fun, serving as a reminder that even in a peaceful and united place, problems can arise. It was a subtle reminder that freedom can come with its risks. Even in a cheerful crowd, sadness can lurk nearby, silently observing from the sidelines. Number 10. DIY shelters. In 1969, the Woodstock Music Festival did not go as expected. Despite being filled with music and excitement, attendees had to sacrifice comfort. The organizers were not prepared for the unexpected arrival of hundreds of thousands of people to a small dairy farm. The lack of planning made things difficult, particularly in providing shelter for such a large crowd. Most people who went to the festival were optimistic but unprepared. They did not bring tents, sleeping mats, or extra clothes. They had to be resourceful. Some used jackets or blankets to make makeshift shelters. Others just used sleeping bags or lay on the ground, hoping it wouldn't rain. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate. As the heavy rain poured down on the fields and made the soil turn into thick mud, the temporary shelters struggled to stay standing. The DIY tents did not provide much shelter from the heavy rain, and when night fell, the cold mountain air descended, enveloping everyone in a chilling embrace they couldn't avoid. Still, the attendees remained at the event. They enjoyed themselves by laughing, dancing, and singing throughout the night, despite the discomfort of inadequate bedding. Although challenging, this experience became a memorable and cherished aspect of Woodstock for many. Number 9. Popular puppets. While Woodstock is famous for its amazing music and unforgettable performances, not everything at the event was loud or chaotic. Within the hustle and bustle of the crowds and lively stages, there was a low-key, soothing activity designed specifically for children, a puppet show. It served as a calming break in the midst of a noisy environment, offering a peaceful and enjoyable experience for kids. This puppet show was not the main attraction, and it did not get as many people as the big performers. However, it had a unique charm alone. Parents who brought their kids to the festival thought this small area was a nice break from all the adult noise. The puppet stage provided moments of joy and magic, enough to keep children entertained. Colorful puppets moved around on a basic stage, sharing fun stories that made children laugh. It was a comfy area, full of happiness, hidden from the more chaotic parts of the event. For the kids, this was a special and magical aspect of Woodstock made just for them. In hindsight, the old puppets might appear amusing or strange to some people. However, back then they brought joy, solace, and a peaceful moment of delight to a festival filled with energy. Number 8. Girl choosing healthy snacks. Woodstock is best known for its lively atmosphere, large crowds, loud music, and constant surprises. However, amid all the hustle and bustle, there were some quiet and beautiful moments that often went unnoticed. One of these moments involved a young woman who made a kind and considerate choice. While others were rushing around with excitement and anticipation, she stood serenely at a bus stop, holding a small bunch of fresh grapes in her hand. During the festival, many people were taking risks or being careless, but she decided to do something unique. something that was easy and good for her body. Her grapes weren't just a snack, they were a thoughtful way of taking care of herself. In a time when food was scarce, her small fruit indulgence was precious. She did not appear anxious, hurried, or overwhelmed by the crowd. Instead, she seemed calm and prepared, savoring every bite while everything around her was busy with activity and music. In the craziest of times, her calm decision proved that a gentle approach can improve any situation. Despite the chaos around her, she managed to carve out a peaceful sanctuary for herself. It is these simple, considerate gestures that truly enhance our memories, similar to the peaceful vibe of Woodstock. Number 7. Showing kindness to animals. During the chaotic and lively atmosphere of Woodstock, amidst the loud music and enthusiastic crowds, there was one individual who stood out with a gentle presence. Among the many attendees who were there to enjoy the music and freedom, this man had a quiet yet impactful message. He wasn't seeking attention for himself, but rather wanted to advocate for those who couldn't speak for themselves, the animals. While others enjoyed music and dancing, this man decided to show kindness not only to people, but also to animals. At that time, being a vegetarian was not as popular as it is now, and animal rights were not a common topic. However, he strongly believed in these causes and was not afraid to speak out, even if he was the only one doing so. His calm behavior and meaningful words made an impact on others. People around him paid attention and realized that love is not limited to just music or friendship. It also includes how we interact with all living beings around us. That moment of silence inspired others to care, be more aware, and make a difference. Over time, more individuals started to adopt his way of thinking. His courageous act may have started small, but it eventually became part of a larger movement that continues to expand today. Number 6. Backstage Environment. While a large crowd waited in line and danced in the mud under a cloudy sky at Woodstock, the area behind the stage was a stark contrast. The backstage was peaceful, tidy, and far removed from the commotion of the crowd. It was a meticulously organized and serene hidden world. One artist who got to enjoy the calm atmosphere of the festival was Richie Havens. He went on stage and played for 2 hours and 45 minutes, much longer than his planned 40 minutes.
That's how the 2 hours and 45 minutes became what it was. At that point, I didn't know what to sing. I sang every song I knew.
Afterward, he took a peaceful break backstage. Despite feeling tired, he remained calm and smiled as he rested. He exuded a sense of contentment and happiness after delivering a powerful performance. The individuals working behind the scenes proudly wore shirts with a lovely symbol, a bird sitting on a guitar. This design, made by Arnold Skolnick, became the essence of Woodstock's identity. It was not just a piece of art, it was a subtle reminder of peace, music, and hope. The stage was full of excitement, but backstage was calm and peaceful. It was a safe haven for tired musicians to relax, surrounded by supportive friends and common goals. Number 5. Simplicity. The picture from Woodstock is unique because it does not have any logos, brand names, or flashy fashion statements. Instead, it shows people wearing simple clothes like flip-flops, sandals, loose shirts, and smiling happily. This simplicity adds to the photo's beauty and gives off a warm, comforting feeling, as if you can imagine hearing laughter and music in the air. The most noticeable thing is how truthful the moment feels. Everyone is being genuine and not trying to show off. They are not concerned about their social status or how they look. The main focus is on just being there and feeling free. The crowd seems to go on forever and blends into the sky. It's more than just a bunch of people at a music concert. It's like a wave of spirits all dancing together, connected by something more meaningful than just having fun. This was more than just a concert. It was a time where people forgot their worries and chose happiness over criticism and unity over following the latest fads. The atmosphere was filled with a gentle, powerful, and serene feeling that is captured in this photo. It demonstrates how one event, focused on genuine connections and free of distractions, can influence an entire generation's perspective on life, love, and what is truly important. Number 4. Introducing yoga to the West. A large group of people gathered for a music festival that would go down in history as one of the most memorable. Swami Satchidananda, a Hindu spiritual teacher, took the stage and brought a sense of calmness to the audience. He did not have musical instruments, but his presence and message of unity resonated with the crowd. A couple of years before, he came to the United States when yoga was not well known. Back then, meditation and spiritual healing were not common topics of conversation. Stores were stocked with medication, but there weren't many natural or mindful choices. Swami Satchidananda started to make a difference in that trend. He had the opportunity to spread his ideas at Woodstock. As he talked, thousands of people listened intently, not with excitement, but with calmness. He encouraged them to breathe, think deeply, and be open-hearted. His words not only kicked off the festival, but also showed a new way of life. Thanks to him, a whole generation was introduced to yoga, inner peace, and being kind to oneself and others. That peaceful moment ended up making a big impact at Woodstock. Number 3. Michael Lang, the man behind the festival. When people think about Woodstock, they usually think about the happy crowds, the music, the mud, and the peaceful atmosphere. However, not many know about Michael Lang and Artie Kornfeld, the two men who were the driving force behind the event. They worked hard behind the scenes to make a wild idea become one of the most memorable festivals in history. Michael Lang was experienced in organizing music events, having previously been involved in planning festivals for famous musicians such as Jimi Hendrix and Frank Zappa. Despite his prior experience, Woodstock presented a unique opportunity for Lang.
This week, we highlight another life well lived. In 1968, a young music promoter named Michael Lang moved to a town called Woodstock, New York, and thought to himself, this would be a good place for a concert.
He aimed to do more than just put on a concert. His goal was to establish an environment where individuals could experience freedom, self-expression, and involvement in something wonderful. With a peaceful demeanor and unwavering conviction, Lang played a significant role in defining the essence of Woodstock. Next to him was Artie Kornfeld, a musician and songwriter who loved the counterculture. He truly thought that music had the ability to make a difference in the world. His enthusiasm and ideas played a key role in moving the festival forward, especially during tough times. He was a firm believer in the values of Woodstock and never stopped spreading that message. Together, Lang and Kornfeld did not only plan a festival, they also made history. In the background, away from the spotlight, they ensured that the dream became a reality. Number 2. The enduring spirit of Woodstock. The inception of Woodstock was marked by challenges such as extensive traffic congestion, inclement weather, muddy conditions, and difficulties in securing provisions. However, amidst the chaos, a remarkable transformation occurred, turning a potential disaster into a peaceful and enduring moment in the annals of music history. Festival attendees appeared indifferent to the disorder surrounding them, reveling in their freedom. They engaged in activities such as swimming in lakes, frolicking in mud, dancing barefoot, and donning minimal clothing, relishing the opportunity to abandon societal norms and constraints. The atmosphere was one of non-judgment and acceptance, with individuals staying up all night, savoring each moment, and embracing a carefree existence. Even with a large gathering, the atmosphere remained peaceful and orderly. Incidents of criminal activity were infrequent, and conflicts were minimal. The predominant desire among attendees was to participate in a harmonious event. Mutual assistance and collaboration were common, with individuals coming together to construct modest accommodations and share meals. Despite the lack of essential amenities, a unique sense of unity was established, characterized by goodwill, mutual reliance, and shared principles. Initially, newspapers labeled Woodstock as a failure. However, perceptions gradually shifted to reveal the reality. Each image captured at the event depicted a narrative that delved deeper into themes of solidarity, happiness, and defiance. What started as a rain-soaker gathering evolved into a representation of a populace yearning for societal transformation. A cinematic production was produced, garnering acclaim and accolades. Yet the ultimate gratification derived from Woodstock was the emotional impact it had on individuals. The essence of liberation, affection, and camaraderie continues to endure. Number 1. What made Woodstock so iconic? Woodstock was more than just music. It was about something much larger than a stage or a crowd. It symbolized the spirit of a whole generation, subtly signaling that change was on the way. Originally meant to be 3 days of music and peace, Woodstock evolved into a significant moment in history. It united young people from all over who didn't just come to listen, but to experience something authentic. The lineup featured 32 incredible performers with unforgettable names. Jimi Hendrix gave an electrifying performance. The Grateful Dead showcased their distinct sound. And Janis Joplin sang with passion. The songs performed had meaning beyond just the artists. The lyrics, guitar melodies, and vocals all combined seamlessly with the sense of liberation felt by the audience. The festival was a place where people could freely express themselves by dancing in the rain, singing under the stars, and embracing the idea of peace. The music was energetic, the crowds were large, but the overall atmosphere was calm. However, not everyone recognized the significance of the event in advance. Several popular bands were offered invitations but declined to attend, including the Byrds. The band was fatigued and in need of a break, which is why they declined the invitation. Little did they know at the time that they were passing up a chance to be a part of a historic moment. The Doors were also among the groups who decided not to perform at Woodstock. They underestimated the significance of the festival, viewing it as just another typical show. However, Woodstock was unique in its rawness and honesty, leaving a lasting impression. Looking back, guitarist Robbie Krieger regretted missing out on the opportunity to be part of such a memorable event. The stage at Woodstock created unforgettable legends and memories, but it also symbolized the absence of those who were not there. The music and atmosphere were amazing, but the absence of some voices left a lingering presence, showing that unexpected moments can have a significant impact on our lives. Woodstock, despite its muddy conditions, music, and significance, was a defining moment in history. What do you think about Woodstock? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, be sure to click on the video shown on your screen.